Welcome back to Richter Knives. What we're going to do today is a sharpening. This is the first sharpening on my channel. So it's going to be a pretty simple one. This is one of my co-workers' pocket knives that he carries all the time. It's just a case, and forgive me, I forget the name of the model, but you can look it up. It's 61265LC, and this is a stainless steel. He uses this all the time. And it's got pretty dull. Today we're cutting something. He said, man, you're gonna have to take this again, and it is pretty dull. It's bad. But we're gonna sharpen it up. It's not gonna take much. This right here is, I believe, a 326 micron, whatever that comes out to. I have no idea, but this is a DMT Do-A-Sharp, and it has a coarser stone on the back side. But I don't need the coarsest one because it's just, I don't know if you can see it or not with the light gleaming on it, but it's got a flat spot right here. Hard to see on camera. And it's pretty dull. But I'm just going to bring it back real quick on this stone, and then I'll take it to a finer diamond stone. And the reason I'm using diamond stone, I mean, I could use anything. I could use a silicon carbide, carborundum vintage stone. I just think this is going to take care of it quickly. And I don't want like an hour-long video, although it wouldn't take me an hour to sharpen this thing. But this is not really a how-to. This is just, hey, come along with me, right? So I'm just gonna build a burr, right? And I'll go to the other side. So what I usually do is I'll lay it flat, and then I'll make sure I'm on the edge of the stone so I'm getting my whole blade, and I'll bring it up until I feel that edge flat on my stone. And sometimes I'll use my thumb, sometimes I'll use my finger here, sometimes I'll use it here, but I'm not really cutting my finger. I'm just dragging my finger across the stone while having it on the blade so I have some feeling. And if you don't feel comfortable doing that, that's fine too. But like I said, this is not a how-to. This is just, hey, watch. We're going to sharpen a knife. So, ready? And what I want to do is just check it every now and then. Check and see if I have an even bevel. I want to bring up the tip so I get the tip. I want to feel that tip. And you could do both ways. You can do all kind of stuff. I don't know. But this is just what I do. You can have it at an angle like this, or you can come in it straight like this. That's all what you want to do. There's no one way to sharpen a knife. There's 511.79 ways to skin a cat. And we're just skinning cats today. Well, hopefully nobody takes that literally. So I want to check this side, make sure I'm getting an even bevel. Everything looks good to me. And I already feel a burr. I just need to get the back side just a little bit. Flat on my stone. I'm putting a little more pressure on the back side, and I just want to check it every now and then to make sure that I'm not building the bevel up over here and making it an uneven bevel, because that's so ugly. I mean, it'll work, but nobody wants an ugly blade. Especially if I'm doing somebody else's, I don't want to mess it up. I mean, if it's my knife and it's messed up, that's one thing, but I don't want to mess up nobody's blade. And checking a lot is very important in my opinion. Checking frequently is a very good idea. It's looking good all the way to the tip. I'm not rounding it off. It's already kind of round, but okay, I've got a burr, and you can hear that. It's not huge, but you can still hear it when your fingernail hits it. So I'm going to do the other side. Some people come around with their left hand and do the same thing, which I can do, but also feel comfortable going this way. So that's what we're going to do. We're just going to flip it over and go this way. Put my edge on the stone. Make sure I got it flat. Make sure I got my whole entire blade on there. Now I don't want to move my wrist. I just want to pick up my elbow and get that tip. And I go kind of slow because I'm doing this purposefully. I'm not just slinging this thing across a stone and hoping it gets sharpened. I want a flat bevel, flat as I can get. And a convex edge is sharp too, but for aesthetics and ease of sharpening next time, I want a even bevel. And I've got a little ways to go in here. And I've got my finger at the tip of this so I can feel it go all the way to the tip. Forgive me if I get quiet. This is one of the things I do that I could just sit here and do this all day and zen out. Okay. Now I've got a, hear that? I've got a burr on that side as well, so I'm going to take it off by going one way this way. I'm just going to do a couple strokes back and forth. And I'll take this strop right here and I'll just cut into it. It'll help me with my burr. Oh, it's already sharp off that stone. And really what you want is, I wouldn't even come off a stone unless it'll shave your hair. If it doesn't, you're really not going to have a good base to get the knife super sharp. The sharper it is off your first stone is you're building a good base for a good sharpening. So a little bit more. All right. Check that real quick. That's pretty sharp. I didn't bring any paper, so I guess you're gonna have to believe me. I'm gonna go ahead and move to a 3000 grit ultra sharp diamond. And y'all forgive me how dirty this is, because, and kicking the camera, but these are old. I've had these forever. And I plan on getting new stones here pretty soon. So, like I said, I'm going to start on this 3000. And I'm just going to actually do one stroke at a time. I've already got the thing sharp. I just want to make sure that I get I'm not even looking for a mirror edge or anything like that. I just want a sharp edge. Now we could go through and get a mirror edge and go through stone after progression and make this thing just gleam. But he's using this thing every day, and we're just going to put, I mean, 3000's probably too much for this. We should probably stop at 600 or 650 or something like that. But sometimes use sharpeners, you know this. Sometimes you don't have a plan. You just start sharpening, and then you don't purposely plan to use a certain stone. You're just like, I feel like maybe I need to use this, and maybe I need to use this stone and this stone, and it all works out for you. And I feel like I got a good flat bevel right now. Make sure I'm getting that tip sharp. Yeah, sometimes I have to tell myself purposely to hit the back side, because what I'll do is I'll put pressure here and I won't put pressure here. So how do you get that all the way up to the ricasso? So if you're still watching this, which you're a knife sharpening freak if you're still watching this. This shouldn't take very long. I'm almost done. I just want to feel the edge now and see where we're at. That is very sharp. I wish I brought paper out here. I'm looking around in my shop and I don't see any paper. That's fine. It's very sharp, trust me. But I am going to put it to a strop. This is my shop strop. I've got so many strops. The ones in the house are better than this. This is just a paddle strop. And I've got gunny juice on this side. I've got white polishing compound on this side. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it on the gunny side. And if you look at this strop, and this is an old strop, it's kind of a nappy, if that makes sense. You could see it's nappy. And usually I don't use nappy leather for the gunny juice that I have on there, but for some reason on this strop it worked out for me. So if I'm going to strop it, I'm going away every single time. I'm going away from my edge because I don't want to dig it into my leather. And I'm about to attempt this from behind the camera for the first time, so bear with me. And I'm barely using any pressure here. I'm using a slightly lower angle than I did sharpening, slightly. I want to catch the edge of that, and all that nap will probably do it for me. But you see I'm coming down so I get my edge, because if I just come across like this, I really wouldn't get my edge. So I'm coming down and around until I get to the back side of my blade. And like I said, not using very much pressure at all. And some people count. I don't count. I just kind of feel. When I feel like the edge, and sometimes when I come back around, I'll just dig it in a little bit that way, just to see how aggressive it is. Let's check it. Oh, yeah, that's plenty. Okay. Now you're not going to see, because I got sharpener's arm, but that right there is very, very sharp. When I say I got sharpener's arm, everybody that sharpens cuts their hair off their arm, and I barely got any left. But this is very, very sharp. It'll go back to my coworker. I'm going to clean it up and polish it. And this is a good enough edge right here, a 3000 grit edge with a strop, and it's hair shaven. It may even whittle hair. And I'd probably attempt to show you, except it's very hard to do on camera. I'm gonna have to figure it out. But for my first sharpening video, thanks for hanging out with me. Like I said, it's not a how-to. You can sharpen how you want. There's a lot of ways to do it, but thanks for hanging out with me and sharpening this here knife. All right. Case knife, sharpened. Mike, out.